Hey, what's up, guys? So, we're just a few days away from The Last of Us Day, and I'm really hoping and praying that it ends up being really, really good because, I would say the last couple years, overall, the fan base hasn't been totally satisfied from the things that Naughty Dog has revealed and done for The Last of Us Day. And so, I just want to talk about a couple things that I feel like are going to be there, and also some things that I am not entirely sure if they will, but I still hope and pray that they do. So if you end up enjoying the video, drop it a like, and if you want to stay up to date on the latest PlayStation news, make sure you subscribe. So obviously, let's just get the guaranteed stuff out of the way. Obviously, we're going to be getting new merch and stuff like that. Possibly even maybe like a new statue from one of the games. I'm not sure on that, but as far as like hoodies and shirts and coffee mugs and stuff like that, like that's a guarantee. So yeah, I don't want to spend too much time talking about that because we already know that that's going to be a thing that shows up. This is the only thing that I fully believe 100% is going to end up being there, and that is the first full trailer for The Last of Us HBO show, because like a few weeks ago, HBO themselves showed off like this new like 2-minute video showing off like what's coming to HBO like for the rest of the year and next year. And at the very end, it was The Last of Us. And obviously, like, there's no way they're not going to show the trailer on The Last of Us Day. It just wouldn't make sense. So that's really the only thing that is 100% going to end up being there. And as far as that, I don't really have anything else where I'm like, oh yeah, 100% that's going to be there. The only other thing that I would really, really want to be there, and I feel like it probably is like a 50-50 shot whether it ends up showing up or not, and that's the announcement of the PS5 version of The Last of Us Part 2. Obviously you could say that, oh, Part 2 doesn't need a PS5 version, and graphically, of course not. But when it comes to the loading times, and also, I don't know if I'm the only one experiencing this. I know I'm not, but ever since I installed the 60 FPS patch for The Last of Us Part 2 that's only available on the PS5, I've been getting a lot of pop-in, like with the grass and stuff like that, especially whenever you're playing as Ellie on Seattle Day 1 and you're with Dina in like that big open area. There's just a lot of pop-in, and it kind of does break the immersion, and that really does hurt against a game like The Last of Us because it's so grounded and so realistic. So obviously when you see things just popping in, especially when it's a lot, then it just kind of takes you out of the experience, and that does suck. So hopefully like Naughty Dog would fix that stuff, and also like the loading times whenever you go from the main menu and trying to start a new playthrough or just continue a previous playthrough. Like it takes like a minute and a half to load into the game itself. And especially with part 1 now being on the PS5 and it takes advantage of everything the PS5 has to offer, then it only makes sense for them to do the same thing with part 2. I would understand if they were like, you know what, we're gonna pass on that, we're gonna take those resources and time and money and focus that on a new project. I wouldn't be totally mad, but at the same time, I do hope that we do get a PS5 version of part 2. Literally, if it just looks the exact same graphically and it just takes advantage of the load times to where they're near instant, and it fully utilizes the DualSense controller, that's all this game needs. And it would be very weird if Sony didn't do this, because we already got a PS5 version of Death Stranding and Ghost of Tsushima and Spider-Man. Like most of Sony's big AAA exclusives have gotten a PS5 version, as well as Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy. So it would be very weird for like their biggest game ever to not get a PS5 version. I know we didn't get a PS5 version of God of War 2018 either. Like I said earlier, I don't know if this is going to show up or even if this exists at all. So that's why I'm saying it's 50-50. But I just really hope that it does show up, And I don't even want to get into what the pricing could be because, there was so much controversy over the price of part 1. And you guys already know my stance on Naughty Dog and The Last of Us. I will pretty much pay any price for those things, especially if it's Last of Us related. So I would pay personally $70 for a PS5 version of Part 2, but that's just me. And so yeah, hopefully those two things, The Last of Us HBO trailer and the announcement of Part 2 for PS5, if we get those two things, then I will be completely satisfied. I don't care if everything else is just merch and just dumb stuff. I don't care. So yeah, but what do you guys think? Down below, let me know your thoughts on The Last of Us Day, because we are only a few days away. And down in the comment section, let me know some things that you hope shows up. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it or found it informative, drop it a like and hit the subscribe button by turning on the post notification bell so you don't miss my next upload. Until next time, guys, take care.